Hi Sam, how you doing? So I read your paper and I think that this is really interesting. The way that you're approaching this is, I think, is smart. And I just kind of want to keep on reiterating this is that when you're doing your writing assignments as well as any research or presentation for that matter in this class, take your hat off. I know it's difficult to do, but take your hat off for a minute and put the employer's hat on. So that this will ensure that you're looking at things that you think would be relevant to the employer. Okay, and that's really important. And you'll hear me say that every week about the importance of putting the employer's hat on so that you can inventory yourself, so to speak. All right. That said, let's take a look. This is, like I said, this is really interesting stuff. I think that you're really onto some things. You're noticing some patterns in researching portfolio trends, and that's really great. And I've read through this, and I think you're really addressing some interesting things. Talking about a flat portfolio, and we'll get to all of that. But the important thing is that you're addressing these things now as we're giving them to you and building the scaffolding towards the final presentation of your portfolio in a few weeks from now. And each of these assignments is brick by brick. As you're noticing from last week, we're seeing how last week's assignments are being used to assemble this week's work, so to speak. So the one thing I would like you to do here, though, is that if we go back here, I don't want to link out here to Behance because then it's going to ask people for their birthday and it's going to ask them to update. And well, let me show you. See what I mean? So let's forget that and let's not compromise anybody's sense of security. And let's just go ahead and we'll do this. If you just give the direct link to the actual page, the actual Behance page, instead of linking to the site, just give the URL to the actual page. Or better yet, we'll need to see those pages anyways. But my idea is let's just go ahead and let's start your URL. Let's start your writing. Give your live URL right there so that we can link out while reading what you have to say. The other suggestion is that you talk about some examples here. So I notice a great deal of those, the mix of monochromatic, bright, colorful designs. Okay, that's great. Give us examples. Show us some images right here under your body copy. Just go ahead and put some examples in here. So the idea is that we can read. It's like one-stop shopping, all under one roof. So I can read this, and your classmates can read this and go, okay, she mentions a diner's board, and then okay, so here's an image. So now there's an example. So everything locks together, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? So let's do that. Let's get your live URLs and plus some visual examples in here. Okay. Plus, also, if you want to, I know you're talking about your flat. I don't know if you've done any research on that, but portfoliosandartcases.com. I know it's a mouthful, but go there and take a look. Portfoliosandartcases.com. They got really, really good pricing, and they've got some wonderful things to choose from. And I'll be glad to give any input there once you start narrowing that down. Okay, but anyways, looking for a repost. Like I said, one-stop shopping. Okay, thanks, Sam.